Welcome back to Fire and Smoke, the Devil at Gold Basin. We are Philip,
Abby,
Blake,
Ethan,
Eric,
also known as Dungeon Master.
Florence Bell,
Jasper Strayhorn,
Dr. Augustus Steele,
Janisher.
Last episode, our courageous cowboys faced down a pack of angry infernal boulders that had chased them down as they were back on the trail of the strange person, clearing the valley of inhabitants. After a rocky start, the group managed to subdue all the boulders and now stand around in the low, late afternoon desert sun, bloodied, bruised, and low on stamina.
well, let's sleep.
Yeah, I
Right
really
here?
need a nap.
Out in the open?
Let's get a couch nap going.
we can make like a wall of horses.
We have 2 horses.
Like they did on the Oregon Trail.
None of those horses went down. Florence made sure of that.
You're welcome.
Well, I think we probably shouldn't sleep right here out in the open where we just got attacked.
You are in the middle of the open valley. It's a balancing act right now because you do very much need to rest. Your injuries demand it. You need to take a load off your feet. Your horses need to rest. You are chasing someone rather important and rather dangerous, according to El Diablo, but it's not clear where that person's going, heading this direction north. There's not anything of interest as far as you know for a long while, unless they're taking a roundabout way to the town of Chloride. But if that was the case, it would take them the better part of a day to get there.
I think that if we just set up camp in the middle of the open here, it may sound dangerous, but it'll mean nothing can sneak up on us. On us. I'm Philippine. But it'll mean nothing can sneak up on us so easily if we just have someone take turns stand watch.
I suppose that's true.
Especially if we light a fire and kind of light up the center of the valley here.
Where's the nearest town?
Day's ride. Well, the Chloride is a day's ride. You know, Surbat, which you know is empty, is just a couple hours back, and Kingman is half a day's ride, but you know is clearing out as well. And those are in the wrong direction.
I say we camp here for the night.
I suppose we should.
We can pass around the shotgun if it makes everyone a little more comfortable.
Anyone else here know how to use a shotgun?
It's really not that complicated. You point and you shoot. Here, and I pointed at you.
Whoa, hold on. Let me see that.
I want to hand it to you.
You said this thing is easy?
Easy as pie.
Mind if I try it?
Sure thing.
Is there any like cacti nearby?
Yeah, there's a cacti nearby. There's a cactus nearby.
I'll try firing it.
You load, fire, blow off a full branch of the cactus.
I'm just gonna mark down that ammo.
Yep.
Explosion of green and needles, and you use one of Augustus's 7 remaining bullets. So is that 6 remaining?
I've got 5 more.
5 remaining.
Because I still have 30 remaining, so I assume he has like a decent amount of ammo left too.
Because I have to burn 2 shells every time I fire it.
Oh, that's true.
You all set up a small camp for the night, making a fire to stay warm as the heat leaves the valley with the setting sun and the darkness descends. The fire now in the center of your camp, throwing shadows around you.
I thought they were like shadows that had shape.
No.
No, we
Like,
can't
wait
do
a
that now.
second.
First the tumbleweed, now the boulders, now the shadows.
Now everything wants to kill us.
You guys are undisturbed as the night sets on. As you're all preparing to bed down in the darkness, the stars, beautiful ocean of stars overhead, you hear, a little distance away, a voice. As you hear it, you all turn your heads, and the voice says, "Now, I know what it looks like, but don't be scared."
Who's out there?
At the edge of the dancing light of the campfire, which is shifting and throwing shadows among the shrubs, you see the form of a man dressed in black. But as you try to focus your eyes to examine him, you find yourself looking through him at the desert brush like he wasn't there. His body translucent, almost emanating shadow and darkness. You see his clothes appear to consist of black cloth button-down, black jeans, accompanied by a twinkling silver buckled belt, and he wears a wide-brimmed hat. His face, nearly totally average with rugged features, stubble, except for his eyes, or where his eyes would be. Instead, his eyelids hang over empty sockets that seem to be filled with wispy, black smoke that streams out into the night.
Now this is why we practice. You're gonna want to point the shotgun.
No.
Yeah, I still got it.
It's all right. I'm a friend. There's no need to be afraid, right?
You're afraid?
I'm a friend.
Oh, you're afraid.
That's all of us then that aren't afraid.
Yep. Looks like we're all good then. Nobody's afraid. He holds
right.
2 thumbs up. You see he's standing next to an equally translucent and wispy horse.
Can I have that horse, mister?
I don't know that you'd be able to ride it, so probably not no good.
Now let the lady try.
You see he's standing, he's at the edge of the main reaching light of the campfire. He's probably 30 feet away from camp, talking at a distance to you guys.
Who are you?
Well, my name is Cassius, and I know this might sound strange, but I really appreciate some conversation.
About what?
Whatever you want to talk about. I could use some companionship. Somebody to talk to, that's all.
What's your aspiration in life?
Life is not the right word to describe what I'm doing right now. It was stealing, thieving, mischief, and mayhem. Now, well, not quite sure. Suppose I'm still trying to find myself.
Well, we all feel like that sometimes. Where do you think in this journey you are right now?
I'd say I am squarely in, undeath.
Come again?
Undead. I died. Now I'm like this.
Now, as a doctor, I find myself slightly disinclined to believe that. If you could come over here and I could check your pulse, good sir.
Well, the thing is, if I get any closer to the fire, to the light, won't be able to see me. And I like looking at people, and I like that they're able to look at me. I don't get that a lot anymore. The thing is, I'm just a shadow. You don't always give a lot of thought to it, but you know, the fire that you're all sitting around, it's not creating the shadows, hiding behind your backs. You are. Without you in the way, your shadow couldn't be seen. But believe you me that it's still there. Just not visible to you. I lost myself a long time ago. Now I'm just his shadow. Without him to block the light, I'll dwell the rest of my days in darkness, I'm afraid.
Just a question. If we go around the other side of you, will we still see you?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you guys want to leave the fire and come over here. You see he sits down on the ground. I'm fine talking at this distance, but you know, if you want to get closer, it's also totally cool if you don't want to. I'm fine talking at this distance.
We'll keep our distance here, if you don't mind.
Can I roll an insight check?
Ooh, I forgot.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
I want to see if he's like
Everybody's rolling an
really
insight
okay
check.
with us not getting close, or if he's trying to be up to something.
That's what you want to know?
What did you roll?
13.
And what are you trying to insight?
I'm trying to see if he's really like okay with us just standing over here, or if he's maybe trying to get us to be comfortable so we can approach or be more comfortable with it.
You know, it's not totally clear. 13. I mean, he's happy. When he plops down after he said his bit about why he is the way he is and why he can't get closer, when the conversation started to go on after that and you seemed like you wanted to keep talking, he sat down with a smile. Eric?
19.
19. And what are you trying to insight?
I'm trying to see how lonely is this guy.
He's giving off a little bit of desperate vibes. What did you roll, Ethan?
I got a 13.
What would you like to insight?
I want to know if he's malicious or deceptive.
13.
I know it's not great.
Just standard, not malicious, not necessarily deceptive about anything outright that he said. What did you roll, Abby?
14.
What would you like to insight?
I want to see if I can ride the horse.
In your professional opinion, the horse is something that you might describe as like a ghost. So it probably, in your best guess, wouldn't work.
That sucks.
yeah,
Looks like a nice horse.
it's a shame.
So he's just sitting there 20 feet away from you guys, from the fire. He rests back on his hands. It doesn't look like he's disturbing the ground underneath him, but it still looks like he interacts with it in some way. And he's sitting there and he goes, Yeah, it's just, I really don't get to talk to people so much anymore. Can't be seen in the light of day, and at night I can't rightly approach just anybody. He turns his empty, smoky sockets towards you, Florence. He says, I caught sight of you while I was passing by, and I figured the group would be able to handle all of this. He motions at his face a little bit better.
Why?
You got an infernal touch, I can't see much in this world, but I can see people in the next. All three of you boys are standard packaging, going to the great beyond. You're going to the same place as me.
Hell?
Something like that.
Is he one of our shadows? Like that we're casting?
No, he's a fully independent being off in the night.
So, as a shadow, do you tend to do a lot of observing? Not really a lot of interacting?
Oh, it's all observant. I don't
Seen
know
anything?
the last time I used these old vocal cords in, golly, a few years.
Is that why you talk like
bit
that?
out of practice.
Talk like what?
Like that?
I don't understand.
Sounds pretty similar to Augustus to me.
No, we do not sound that similar.
I mean, Augustus is pretty
I'm
old.
hearing it now.
Go easy on the old timer.
Well, I don't know about. Look, I'm 54. That's
I mean, that's almost on death's door around
it's
here.
not that old. A lot of folk die young, but I've made it to middle age.
I would say making it even to 50 is like a big milestone. It's pretty
And-
celebrated.
I would say some youngins don't know when to keep quiet.
Now, anyways, Cassius,
Yes, sir.
if you've been doing so much
I didn't
observing.
ask your names. I'm sorry, I was
Oh.
really excited to start talking.
Sorry, my name's Jasper Strayhorn.
Jasper Strayhorn, Cassius Reeds.
You just say you might have heard of you.
Yeah, Kingman's a pretty big town.
Not necessarily, but it's good to hear you.
I guess that's true.
You can call me Sure.
Sure, Cassius Reeds. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Now
I
you
like
guys,
your voice.
Thank you.
Are you doing something with it?
No.
That's the way you always sound?
Yeah.
now you guys said me and Cassius, we sound real similar,
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
You both sound
That's
like
what I
you're
hear.
dead.
but you don't see. I'm gonna try to ignore that. but you don't see Sure and Cassius having pretty similar rasps to their voice.
Well, I would think they sound similar, but you and Cassius give off more of a similar vibe.
So you need to check your pulse. I'm a little worried.
Now my pulse is strong.
I don't know if you know how to find it.
How do I roll for pulse?
You're a healthy middle-aged man.
You're
Your pulse
lying.
is
Hold on, can I check his pulse?
I'll happily let him check my pulse. It's strong.
Go ahead, make a medicine check.
That's a nat one.
You think you go over to check his pulse and you think that Augustus might also be undead. You're not getting anything.
I move his fingers to where they're supposed to be so that he can check my pulse. I give him the help on the medicine check.
Oh, you give him help. Yeah, go ahead and roll with advantage.
It's a 6.
Very, very weak pulse. It's alarming.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you're alive. But it's not looking good for you. We gotta check you out once we're done here.
Well, you can join me whenever you're ready, friend.
No, I don't think that'll be necessary. You describe your life as what? Constant loneliness and suffering on your own?
Lonely? Well, no. I can be in the company of men on horses all day, unseen in the sun-drenched valley. It's quiet, is what it is. Different kind of quiet.
There's like a haunting look in Augustus' face. It's like the color drains from his face, and he.
Augustus, no, the pulse is failing.
I can listen to their conversations all day, but it's the quiet of knowing not one word will ever be directed at you again. They warn you about the void of death, inky blackness. They never tell you about the quiet.
All right, Augustus is gonna have to sit down. You guys got this.
I start like batting his back.
I'm sorry, was that too intense?
No, it's.
He's just having a little bit of a late life crisis, I guess.
It's still a midlife crisis.
End of life crisis.
No, I feel like you folk are too quick to call me old when we have a dead man, right? How long's it been since you died, Cassius?
Probably about 20 years, I guess.
So that'd make you what? Plenty older than I am?
Yeah, it'd make me about 63.
Well, now, Cassius,
Yes, sir.
since you've been doing so much observing in your free time, you see anything interesting come through this here valley recently? Because we're looking for a woman with a black mare, was it? That's doing a lot of sinister things in these towns.
I'm sorry, I ain't seen nothing like that. I got to this valley today, sir. I wandered the country.
Well, keep your eye out. Keep your ears out, I guess.
Because I don't have eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said,
Can you still see us?
I kind of alluded to it earlier. My sight is weird. I see, like, the shadow world. And where
Right.
people are, I see representations of where they're going to be.
So what can you tell us about our future?
Well, like I said earlier. He points at Sure, Jasper, Augustus, and then Florence. Standard packaging, standard packaging, standard packaging. Straight to hell.
There's a relief on Augustus's face like you've never seen before, Jasper.
Well, but you don't know, like, how long it takes for that packaging to be delivered.
No. I can't know any of that information. I'm not all powerful, all knowing. I'm just, well, I used to be a man. Now I'm kind of a shadow of a man after I traded it all away.
What did you do before you died? Undied.
He leans back, preparing for a long conversation. He appears to be happy to be talking. And he says, I'm mighty happy to talk about it. You want the whole spiel?
No, we'll take the long, the short version.
No,
No,
I
I
want
think
you
so.
along.
His face
What else
drops.
are we gonna do, Augustus?
Shut up, old man.
I want to get some sleep.
Yeah, go to sleep then.
You
We'll
can go to
listen.
sleep, we'll listen.
Yeah, you wouldn't need sleep, old man.
Well, as I said, my name is and was Cassius Reeds. I moved out west on the promise of gold and mining that would see quick return and catapult me into a new life. Didn't go that way, though, and I ended up getting work as a ranch hand, earning measly wages to keep fed. One day, a couple summers later, as I was gambling in town to distract myself from my failures, I met a man named Frank Pryor. Frank talked me up on helping him with some work to recoup my losses that day. Well, the short of that was it ended up being I was halfway done helping him round up a few of his beeves till I realized I was engaging in cattle rustling with a criminal. I felt tricked, but he talked me down and told me I'd get half the money. I thought a while about the life I thought I'd live out here and the money I deserved, and that day was the first day of a criminal partnership between me and Frank. Years down the line, we were seizing our magnum opus, robbing a Union Pacific Railroad train and its passengers in Wyoming. $60,000 in gold and banknotes, enough for both of us to live comfortably for a good long while. Well, if I loved a liar, then I'd hug Frank to death because he decided $30,000 wasn't enough for him. He shot me, but he missed my vitals. I was in shock and rage, and in the struggle and clawing and rolling that followed, Frank gouged out my eyes with his thumbs and left me unconscious for dead. But death wasn't the one that found me. Something else got there first. Something whispering from shadow, asking if I wanted revenge and the power required to enact it. That night, in a valley in the hills of Wyoming, I traded my humanity and my soul, and in return got stuck in this form, but with some truly magical powers. I took those powers, and I hunted Frank down like a dog. I found him, and every moment of strangling the life out of him felt just as good as I imagined it would. And then, Frank was gone, and I'm still here, 18 years later, wondering if I ever get to move on.
Do you know the name of this person who took your humanity?
Weren't no person, weren't no man, some ghastly shadow form. Didn't give no name, didn't have no face. Just a disconnected voice.
Maybe he didn't have the brand yet. 'Cause the-
The El Diablo brand.
Yeah, because now he's got a name and
Is that who you sold your soul to?
Yes, I made a similar deal.
Yeah, I thought so from what your afterlife is looking like.
Do you think I'll end up like you?
No, this happened right away. I haven't met another person like me before. Surprised to see you. Wandered the country, unseen, unable to approach anybody. Better part of 2 decades.
It is tough being lonely. I know what you mean.
It's the quiet that does it.
I think we can somehow manage to help out this El Diablo that we met. Maybe he can do something for you.
now we were thinking we could unionize, right?
We're past the unionizing.
Oh, union. Yes, sir.
And we'll tell him we all want magic accordions, and you can ask for probably like a body and things back.
But what about moving on?
I'd like to just move on. I don't need no body.
All right, different strokes for different folks. You can die normally, and we can get magic accordions.
And we
then-
lose our souls.
No, that's the fun part. And then because he needs us to go save the world for him, we'll tell him we'll only finish saving the world if you give us our souls back.
I guess we haven't really explained that part yet. We're going to save the world.
Oh yeah, we should probably mention that.
Heroes. I'd have loved if I had turned out as a hero. I like to think I changed my ways since contemplating Frank's death all these years.
For the record, I think we can agree Frank was a sorry type of fellow who had to go.
Sorry, son of a bitch.
He had to go.
Oh, I'm still mad that he killed me, but revenge didn't make that go away. It didn't feel good after the fact.
How would you like to help us out and be a bit of a hero yourself?
Well, I'm still struggling to understand exactly what I can and can't do.
But you said you're an observer, so do you think you could go look at things for us if we ask?
Oh, yeah, I could wander around and take a look places if you wanted me to. I mean, I could also, do you all want me to, how do I phrase this? Never good at words, you know? Do you all want me to do something to your bodies?
We're gonna need
Yes.
more words than that.
Yes.
Yes?
You all look pretty tough right now. Bad shape, if you know what I mean.
That's true.
If anybody wanted to come over here, I could lay my hand on you and fix you right up.
Amen.
I was a religious man when I was young, but I lost that back when I turned to a life of crime. Now I'm unsure. There's definitely something after this, but ain't nothing in the Bible about
Because of the shadows.
eyeless shadow man.
Really, there's like a shadow Bible. The Book of Shadows.
I haven't encountered the Book of Shadows. I'll keep my eye. No, that's not the right term I should use.
No, it's okay, Cassius. We understand what you mean.
I'll keep my eyes out for it.
I guess your eyes are already kind of out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well,
Hope it's not a sore spot 20 years later.
no, they're quite numb by this point.
I'm going to walk over to him. I'm going to reach out my hand.
He takes your hand, reaching up ghostly in a firm handshake, and you've never felt a touch this weird. There's pressure there, like it's interacting with something, but no part of your skin feels like it's making contact with something. He, once down, once up, firm handshake. Jasper, you are healed to full and regain anything you are missing, like a full rest.
I feel pretty good right now, guys. You guys got to get over here. Say, does this magic work on beings other than just humans? Like, we got these horses over here, and they're pretty dang tired.
Swing them around.
I guess we'll
Just all
start
single file.
lining up.
Everybody.
Single file to the Shadow Man. He heals all you guys and restores any of your once per day or once per long rest or once per whatever.
After his
Full
cautionary
rest.
tale about making deals with shadowy figures.
After his cautionary tale about making deals with shadowy figures.
We'll all shake his hand.
And you're all
punch the
shaking
other.
his hand. So did anybody want to do anything specific or everybody just getting healed?
I want to do something.
What did you want to do?
I'm going to ask him, hey, mister, can I please try to ride your horse?
Seeing as we've been real friendly, I don't see why not. She startles easily, but I'll stand by her side and you can try to hop up and see what happens.
You guys walk around to the horse. He stands by her neck. Beautiful. It's white, ghastly horse. Pristine. Very pretty. He helps you hop up onto the saddle and you stay for a little. And then all of a sudden you start slowly sinking down into the horse.
No. You need like a ghost saddle
you
or
just
something.
keep getting back on the horse, you can ride it.
There we go.
If you keep repositioning yourself, it's like you're pulling yourself, like you were standing in like quicksand, distributing your weight to try to stay on top. But yeah, you're on the horse.
So can I have the horse?
No, you can't have my horse.
It's just so pretty.
You guys all sit back down around the fire, him substantially off in the distance.
I tell you, you can't imagine what this conversation has meant for me. I have sorely missed nights like this. Sitting up, talking, smoking around the fire till you fall asleep with your boots on. It's a cruel thing to take conversation away from a man. We as humans are a social creature, you know? So ingrained in us. Your first instinct coming face to face with some animal that can't understand you is to talk to it. We long for something, anything, to hear us and to understand. So I appreciate you letting me talk and listening to me.
Well, I mean, if you want to just like follow us around and anytime we hunker down for the night, you can pop up and we can talk to you.
I wouldn't mind helping you out, and I will desperately want the conversation all the time. But I'm also still looking for myself somewhere out there, if you know what I mean.
But you have nothing. Nothing but us.
Is that how you're gonna open that conversation?
Did you cast vicious mockery?
Is that a vicious mockery?
Oh, I'm just being honest. You have no one, and we're offering you
Does he still
company.
take 2d4?
Well, I wouldn't mind making plans to cross paths again, but I'd like to find myself out on the range still.
I just want to know, like, what, like, how are you gonna find yourself?
It's metaphorical. I'm soul searching.
Okay.
Well, while you're out there, do you think you could find someone for me?
Find someone for you.
His name is Hu Taival.
Ooh, Tai Bao.
He was my good friend back when I was in China. But my actions, they took him away. Took him out here. I'm just like you, Cassius. I've done bad things. I'm a criminal. But I'm hoping coming out here, I could help fix that. Right my wrongs.
I do hope you find that for yourself. And I can certainly look around for Hu Tai Bao. I would also enjoy a physical description of the man. It might help a little bit.
Sure gives Cassius a description of who.
All right. Sure, I'm sure whatever you did in the past, it was in defense of yourself or someone you loved. And I hope you can right whatever wrongs you made and find your friend. And if I come across him, I can certainly look. Anybody else want to tell me about themselves? I could talk all night if you wanted to.
You know, I don't really know much about Augustus besides when he showed up in Kingman and was the doctor. You got a whole life, like your entire life.
You
already lived.
know plenty about me, Jasper. We've known each other for 20 years?
2 years.
2 years. 2 years. We've known each other for years, since you were a boy.
Well, I wouldn't say 2 years is that long, but we're good friends.
We are good friends. It's why you trust me so much.
I don't know, but you don't really tell me much about your past. Like,
Yeah, Augustus, share some information with an old friend and a new companion. Your friend, Cassius Reeds.
So Augustus stops for an awkward amount of time, and he's thinking. Now, I grew up on a ranch, and I left my home to become a cattle rustler with another man.
It sounds like you're telling my story right now.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. I've just met you.
What was the man's name?
Frank.
Not everybody's ready to confront their past, and I can't give you a hard time for that. It took me a long, long time to do it myself. But you'll find your way. And I think if you open yourself to trust somebody sometime, it might help take that weight off your shoulders.
Now, as much as I would like to say you have no idea what you're talking about, you may be the most qualified person to speak on that. I'll sleep on it.
Okay, friend. How about you, youngin'?
Yeah, Jasper, why don't you tell us all about yourself?
myself? Well, you know, I grew up on a ranch.
Go on.
And man, I got roped up into a little cattle rustling.
You don't say.
By yourself, or
It's my mom.
this could be a real story then.
Yeah, well, she's kind of probably the most important figure in my life. We left my dad when I was young. Been following around her ever since. I'm her deputy right now. You can see my badge. I kind of I take the badge off and I show it to him.
30 feet away, he like leans in a little bit and squints.
Mr. No Eyes over here.
Squints, empty sockets pouring out black smoke into the night.
It's
Oh, it does say deputy. Are you happy being your mom's deputy? You must want more for yourself.
I think it'd be nice to kind of, be someone, and instead of, going up to someone and being like, "Oh, hey Jasper, how's your mom doing?" They ask, "Oh, hey Jasper, how are you doing?"
This is so sad.
Yeah. What about you, little sister?
I'm not a little sister.
What about you, ma'am?
Thank you. A few years ago, my mom was killed in the saloon that my family ran, and she used to play accordion, and that also broke. So I sold my soul to get the accordion fixed. And it also has like magical powers in it, so it's pretty cool. So I spend the rest of my time seeking out men who do wrong by others.
Mine a noble life. Somebody without a soul.
But I feel like we're not too far off.
I'd like to think so. Why don't you guys tell me about the most fun you've had on your trip so far?
And you guys sit up talking with him as long as you're willing and able to stay awake. He enjoys the company and he trades you funny stories and moments in his life in return for your own. Till eventually, everybody too tired to stay awake and he doesn't want to put too much stress on you, says he understands, is going to go look for Hu Taibo wherever he can, and hopefully cross paths again with you soon as he, does a lap through the valley, sees what he can't find. He saddles onto his ghastly white horse, and with a click of his tongue, begins walking it away into the night. He glances last time over his shoulder, already longing for what he's leaving behind right here, but continues on into the dark valley, sure in his way. A lost man still looking for himself somewhere on the range. Cassius Reeds, mysterious rider in black, continues on away from the fire until your eyes can no longer distinguish his form from the wisps of smoke emanating from the fire burning away the coals in the middle of the camp. Once again, enveloped in solitude, the four of you and your campfire sit beneath an ocean of stars, constellations like beacons in the sky. And eventually, as you settle into your bedrolls and sleep, the fire subsides to embers, and maybe some of you had the thought, if you protect your shadow from the light, what is it protecting you from? And I think that'll be it for this episode, as Cassius Reeds rides off into the darkness. If you want to keep up with the show, you can follow my Dungeons & Dragons TikTok account, WitchDunphy, at WHICHDUNPHY. Does anybody else have anything what they want to say before we end the episode?
So Cassius Reeds, right?
Mhm.
He can't interact with the environment, right? But it does stop him from going through it. So if I threw a bucket of sand at
That's what I was
Cassius
gonna
Reeds,
say,
what
yeah.
would happen? I want to know.
That was the exact same thing.
Would he get trapped under the sand, totally unable to lift it, and then he can't move ever?
Yeah, you'd probably trap him, and then he'd live
Just forever.
forever, buried in a shallow grave.
And people would find a weird sand statue.
Just a little mound, yeah.
I mean, that's the fable story behind termite mounds now. That there's a shadow person in there.
There's a shadow
Oh.
person in there.
There's a shadow.
You have to go tear down all of those mounds to get them out. You have to help them. Only you can help
They
them.
can't move.
Tune in next week. And remember, slay!